Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video. And in this video we have some breaking news. People have been finding rainbow high dolls with mold on them. Yes, you heard correctly. Let's get into it. So this is thanks to @darlingdolls on Instagram, who shared this picture of the two most viral pictures, I guess, that have come out, with one with the Uma mold and then one with the junior high pack. Now originally these posts and pictures came from Tumblr and then Facebook, and then they've been reshared a bunch of times ever since, so it's kind of a mess, you know, because when so many reshares happen, you kind of lose track of who the actual original source was. Darling's Dolls has on Instagram left a good caption explaining things. Apparently this has been happening for a couple months now, and especially over the winter months, you know, holiday season. Inside the packaging, mold had been found in many Rainbow High dolls, and all across Rainbow High, so Rainbow High Junior High, and then we had also Shadow High. So many dolls, also Costume Ball. So if you live in the US, I also think this is probably just happening in the US. I haven't heard of this happening, you know, in Europe. I think that would be, you know, like specified. But so this is US, because I've also heard that there's been storms happening and, you know, humidity, and Walmarts and Targets having leaks, and so that's maybe how the packaging got humid inside. So a lot of questions are up in the air here. Later on, we also got the full pictures of the post. Here's the one with the junior high 5-pack. The caption reads, "Found at a Walmart near me. The junior high dolls are moldy inside their box. Not sure what happened. Assuming moisture got in somehow, but this is super gross. Definitely a health hazard to anyone who would receive these. Yes, I stayed there until an employee came over to take it away because I did not want anyone or their kids, blah blah." So yes, at first, you know, I don't know like mold that well. I've only seen mold once or twice. You know, like when you think of mold, you think like, oh, it's a gross thing, it's like bright color, it's like, it's kind of obvious, you know, usually. But the early stages of mold can be very sneaky because they're very, like, it's not too obvious. So at first I did not know where the mold was in this picture, but basically it's on the clothing. So for instance, here on Sunny's skirt, there are some white spots, and that is the mold. That is so gross. Oh my god, that is, ooh. And you can even see it go over one of Sunny's legs. You can see the actual mold starting to get on the doll body, and then we can see some mold on Ruby's overalls at the top. It's very obvious, and then even going down to her pants, and then there's more pictures attached. So also Jade had some mold on the pants. Yeah, all of them, I guess, had mold. That's insane. I've never seen anything like this where a doll in the box had mold on their clothing pieces or whatnot. So this is very very strange and very gross. This is, oof. And again, this is a health hazard. Like, it could get worse if you don't stop it, and especially for people who have allergies or asthma, definitely a big no-no, especially for kids. You know, kids are not going to know what this is unless they're like, you know, unless they're really wise and they already know a lot of stuff about mold. They're not going to know, especially, like, you know, specifically what this is, and they're just going to play with it and inhale it, and you know, it's not good. You don't want that for your kids. Then here we have the picture of the post for Uma. So the caption reads, "I saw someone's post about the multi-pack of junior highs having mold. I'm pretty sure this is mold on her hat." Yeah, that is mold. That looks super gross, especially against the black. You can really tell where it is. And apparently there have been many sightings of Umas having mold on their hats. I don't know why. Is that like a popular spot? Because mold gets created out of humidity, you know. So this is in the box, and unless the box has like a rip or something, that means that it would have had to happen before they went in the box. But no way, maybe it's just like the way it was stored. I don't know. Again, this is like very interesting how this happened, and maybe it has to do with like the flat-ish kind of looking surface that the hat has. And like, more importantly, people who, you know, stock the shelves, who work in Target or Walmart, which that's where people have been finding these, you know, issues. Why aren't they like actually why are they leaving these dolls on the shelves if they see that it has mold on them? Maybe some of them like just don't have good sight. Maybe they don't see it from far away, or maybe some of them don't care, or maybe some of them don't have time to care. But like realistically, if I was working in a store and I saw this, I would not leave it on a shelf, even if I wasn't rushed or even if I had a bad day. Like, this is my job, and you don't want to get into trouble, and this is a health hazard. You know, you don't want to, like, just imagine a lady comes up to you in a store and you work in that store and you just stocked the shelves that she's taking you to, and then she says, oh, this doll has mold, and then you're standing there like, oh my god, wow, I'm the one who stocked these shelves. Why did I do nothing about this? So I don't know, just like from my point of view, like, why are people even finding these to begin with? These should not be on shelves at all. It makes no sense. But again, whatever, it's at least when people find them, they're, you know, reporting it to the people who work at the store so they can take him off the shelves and maybe even take it away. I don't know, because this is some, yeah, these are unique circumstances, because like I've never heard of dolls in packaging, new in box, on the shelf, in stores, having mold. Never. And then lastly, we have the picture of the post for Demi. So Demi's hair, the bangs there on one side are starting to form mold, and it looks really gross. Like, can you just wipe it away, or like, is it ruined? Like, do you have to cut off the bangs, or like I would not even want to own this doll if she had mold, if she had bangs, because not only is it gross, but also once you wipe it away, it does sometimes leave a smell behind. I've seen comments, you know, people have been experiencing this, so that's not good. I don't want to have a doll that stinks, you know. I don't think these dolls should be even sold anymore once they have the mold. It's just kind of like, no one would buy them. I wouldn't buy them. Would you buy them if they had mold? Even cheaper. I don't see the good that it would do to me, you know. Thanks again to Darling's Dollhouse for sharing these initially on Instagram, and then thank you to at Magic8Dolls on Instagram for sharing and for finding the pictures of the post from Facebook/Tumblr. Now apparently there's also been a store full of the Lilas reported that had mold. Again, the cause right now is unknown. It's unclear as to how it came to be, but while it is rare, it is still obviously a health hazard. So if you are able to check with what you're buying in store, then definitely go in store. And if you are not able to and you ordered it off of Target or Walmart, then, you know, send it back, you know, tell someone, because people, yeah, this has to stop. Thanks to at Pixel Dolls, who left a really informative comment under the post. It reads, mold only grows in presence of moisture. What happens is that storage rooms should be regulated to be weather temperature controlled, but sadly some places just don't care. Looking at Walmart storage rooms specifically, these boxes are sealed, yes, but there are enough cracks in Rainbow High packaging that is not fully taped, that if moisture is in the air, even briefly, it could get trapped inside the box and potentially condensate. If mold spores exist, it's very likely they would love the inside of the box, especially on the fabrics that would hold moisture over any condensation on the plastic. It seems less of a production issue and most definitely a storage issue. Just judging by the spread and color, it's more likely it was at a more recent storage location, like at a store, for example. In the lab, when working with stuff like mold, it's crucial to work in a room or vent closed off from general circulation with zero moisture conditions, aside from the vessel you would grow mold on. Because of stuff like this, mold is so gross, and even with all the precautions, it can spread quickly and make people really sick. So yeah, that was a really good explanation, and definitely explains as to why it wouldn't be a production issue. This really seems like it was a storage issue, and I guess Walmart storage facilities units are not good because I guess, I don't know, I don't have a Walmart, I don't have any experience, but people who did have experiences left comments, and then most of them were very similar, that they did find some dolls in store having mold on them, not buying them, reporting it to people who work there, and some of them also mentioned that there were a lot of weather, like haptics, you know, like raining and leaks happening in Walmart stores, so that might have also added to the turmoil of the, you know, temperature being off. And then of course, if it really is that easy and, you know, for it to start happening, then of course it could have started very easily with the humidity and all those different factors. so it seems that mold growing is something very that could happen very easily. So in that case, I guess there's your explanation. But I hope that now that it's been a while, it stops. I mean, again, people have been reporting this ever since the winter months, and now it's January. And I do hope that this is going to be like, these are like the last signs of mold on dolls, because it's not good for sales, and this is definitely not helping Rainbow High in any way, especially because most of them were on the junior high 5-pack, and that's a big bundle. And if people, you know, see that it has mold on them, it's not going to sell well, and then it's going to go back. And then you know, also if they don't get the regulations on point with the temperatures and in the storage places, it could keep happening. So let's hope that, you know, someone is working on this out there, you know, keeping the temperatures right, because it, you know, that sounds silly, but like it really plays a role. It really does. And I just hope, you know, doesn't keep happening, because again, this is really gross. And of course, it's a health hazard, especially for people and kids with allergies or asthma. So yeah, this is I was very shook. I didn't expect to ever see anything like this happen, but it's happened. So just be careful if you live in the US. Again, check your purchases if you can in store, and if you can't, then look thoroughly when you get a doll. Because again, the early signs of mold can be sneaky. They can just come out of nowhere. They can be in weird spots. Look especially on the textiles, fabrics, and the hats. The mold loves the hats. So please, everyone, be careful. And if you know anyone else who is an avid Rainbow High doll collector in the US, then maybe share this video with them, because you don't want them to accidentally buy a doll with mold. Better safe than sorry, am I right? I know, shameless plug. I'm sorry. Anyways, that was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, so you don't miss out when I post more content like this, coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.